One of the craziest things about the blockchain industry is that there's so many different opportunities for developers. Imagine going back in time and being one of the world's first web developers, or being one of the first people to ever create apps for the Apple iPhone store. The opportunities were crazy. Well, the exact same thing is happening right now in blockchain. And just last month, we saw a new opportunity come out for Solana developers that I'm going to talk about in this video, and how you can take advantage of it, especially if you're trying to be one of the first people to work with this new technology. I'm going to explain everything you need to know in this video today as a blockchain developer myself who works this technology on a daily basis. So if you're new around here, hey, I'm Gregory, and on this channel, I turn you into a blockchain master. So if that's something you're interested in, then smash that like button down below and subscribe. And if you want to take action on everything I'm talking about in this video today, I can show you how to increase your income by becoming a blockchain developer over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. All right, so let's get into this. So today I want to talk about a new opportunity that's popped up for blockchain developers, especially if you're trying to take advantage of this technology and be one of the first to create things when new stuff comes out. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. So what is it? Well, just recently we saw Solana release two new features called Actions and Blinks, and these can be big opportunities for developers. So what are they? Well, Actions and Blinks are basically new ways for people to interact with blockchain applications off of websites on normal platforms that they'd use every single day, like social media, for example. So think about it this way. Most of the time when you're going to use blockchain, whether it's to buy a coin or an NFT or like do a trade or something like that, you have to install a wallet and then go over to the website and then use that website directly. But what these two new features do is let users perform these types of actions off of that website, directly on social media or by directly linking to it. So let's take a look at how that works. So first, let's get into actions. So Solana actions are basically a way for you to pre-describe what a user is going to do on the blockchain. So when you load up your wallet, it's ready to go. So for example, let's say you're trying to trade a token, all right, on an app like Radium. Whenever you click the trade button, it's going to populate your Phantom wallet with the instructions to do that trade. But what an action does is basically lets you embed that set of instructions somewhere else. So when your wallet pops up, it already knows what to do. You don't necessarily have to click a button in order to make that happen, okay? And then the blink is what you can use to create an action. And blink just stands for a blockchain link, where let's say you have a link to buy a token or trade a token or buy an NFT somewhere else, maybe on social media, for example, and you can click that link on that website. It'll open up your Phantom wallet, and then you can purchase a token directly, without having to click a button on a different website. So why are these new features such a big deal? Okay, so number one is it improves crypto UX and onboarding. This is one problem crypto has. You have to get through all these hoops in order to do anything, and the UX looks broken in a lot of cases. So this is a new way where you can take actions in the blockchain where you don't have to go directly to a blockchain-specific website. You can do it from a website that you already use on a daily basis, which opens up the door for new opportunities, which is to spread blockchain opportunities to much, much wider audiences, okay? So think about everyone who would already visit a website like Radium is a really small pie of people compared to the number of people who are just using the website like Twitter or X.com every single day. So for example, you could put a blink or a blockchain link inside of a Twitter post that could create an action to buy a coin, and then that opportunity, you could put that in front of a lot more people than the number of people who are looking at DexScreen every day or just visiting Radium on their own. Said another way, you can create a Twitter post that went viral with a call to action to perform something on the blockchain. That can get in front of a lot more eyeballs. All they have to do is click a button and then take action. And the third big reason why this is such a big deal is it creates a big opportunity for blockchain developers. This is a brand new feature, and anytime something new comes out, there's an opportunity to create something that nobody else has done yet, and I'll talk about that more in a minute. Now, a couple quick notes on actions and blinks. For now, blinks are only available on X.com. Okay, so you can only create these for Twitter, basically. Now known as X. But there's hopes to expand these to other social platforms in the future. Okay. Now, also, if you've watched my channel for any length of time, I've talked about Farcaster a lot. Okay, or maybe you've just used Farcaster being inside of crypto. This is a crypto native social network. They have a feature called Frames where you can basically embed applications inside these social media posts, okay? And so I think, we're seeing some inspiration for these new features from what Farcaster's done. But I think the crazy thing about Blinks is that it opens the door to reach a much wider audience than the amount of people who would be using Farcaster in a crypto native sense already. And also, one little comment on the downside of Blinks is, you might be thinking, wouldn't it be really easy for somebody to create a link that's malicious where you could just steal somebody's money? Well, there is the possibility for something like that, for somebody to create scams where basically they create a blockchain link or a blink that opens up their Phantom wallet where they think that they're maybe buying a certain coin, and it turns out to be not what they expect whenever they actually sign the transaction and submit it to chain. Now, that is a downside. I'll be curious to see how they handle that type of thing as this gains traction, but that's just something to think about. If you see these out in the wild, is always exercise caution. All right, so now let's talk about the opportunity for blockchain developers, because anytime there's a new technical release like this, there's going to be an opportunity for developers to jump on it and create something that nobody else has yet. And even if they had, create it in a way that's maybe unique that other people just aren't using yet. So think about this like what if you had jumped on the Apple App Store when it first came out? There was no apps available yet. You could have made some serious money or created a really big name for yourself. So the good news is a similar opportunity is here, okay, with multiple upsides to it. If you create an app and people use it, awesome. If not, people don't use it, well, you still get a great, piece for your portfolio that you can show, hey, I created something out there in the wild that people actually use. And, at the very least, you're still going to learn something new. Either way, it's going to be a win. And the other piece of good news is this is really simple technology, okay? You don't have to learn a new programming language. You don't have to learn how to create complex, smart contracts inside of Rust or something like that. You can get started pretty quickly. You could build something, maybe in an afternoon or a weekend if you need more time. So let's see how to get started. Okay, so there's actions and blinks. So again, actions are the set of instructions that are pre-populated for the wallet whenever it receives the message to actually do the transaction. And there's blinks, which are the blockchain links. So if you want to create an action, you can just do this in JavaScript. You just want to do the npm install for the solana/actions library, okay? And what these actions are basically just a set of standard APIs. You can think about like an API endpoint that's going to return metadata and something for a user to sign, like inside their blockchain wallet. So you can think about maybe like a Lambda function or something like that. Basically, it's just going to have a GET request that returns the metadata and provides human-readable information, and then a POST request that returns a signable transaction they can execute inside their wallet. So you can read more about that spec here on the Solana documentation. But then let's talk about blinks, okay? Because basically all this is a URL that gets embedded into, wherever you want to on the internet. When a user clicks on it, it's going to fetch this action and pre-populate in the wallet. And all you really have to do is create a domain that looks like a certain way and then use like a query string URL after it and then put in some type of, action encoded in that format. So basically, there's 3 different ways you can do that. All right, you can do an explicit action URL with this Solana action like this, and then use a website where they can fetch that from. You can do a link to a website that's listed with the Actions API with the actions.json file. I'll show you that here in a second. Or you can create this query string parameter like I was talking about if it's in a website that understands how to parse those actions. So you can see the definition for the URL scheme here, and you can see a list of like the JSON format that you need to create if you're going to use the JSON format just like this. So that's a brief overview of what it looks like from a technical perspective. I recommend just going to the Solana documentation, looking up blinks and actions, go through this. It's going to show you exactly how to get started. This is easily something you could do in an afternoon, or if you need more time, maybe a weekend. All right, and so what are some ideas of things that you could build using this? Well, just think about anything that users are already doing on chain and just making it easier for them to do that on social media, for example. Maybe some other website that they're already visiting, like a blog, for example. Okay, so things like buying coins, trading coins, buying NFTs for the first time, voting on a DAO proposal. These are all types of things that users are doing on chain right now that you could automate through this new technology so they can reach a wider audience on social media. So let me know what you think down in the comment section below. What are you planning to build this new technology? Are you excited about it? Do you think it's a big deal? I want to hear from you. And whenever you're finished leaving your comment, make sure you smash that like button down below and subscribe. And if you want to take action on everything I'm talking about in this video today, and you want to increase your income by becoming a blockchain developer, I can show you how to do that step-by-step start to finish over at dappuniversity.com/bootcamp. You really don't have to be an expert to get started today. I've helped people with zero coding experience become real world blockchain developers in a matter of months. So that's all I've got. Until next time, thanks for watching Dapp University.